Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a couple interesting updates. The first thing we're going to go over today is the Switch 2. We have a leak that's pointing to the specs for this console, and in my opinion, they're pretty promising. And then we also have an update for that new, weird Emio trailer that Nintendo just previewed. We have an update for that game as well that kind of paints a little bit more vivid picture of what this game is. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So this is completely off topic, but you know how like every word or everything has an opposite? You know, everything is in balance? What's the opposite of update? Like, I feel like I'm having a brain freeze moment, but update, downdate? Like, what's the opposite here? I have to know the answer. In the comments below, what is the opposite of update? But regardless, the Switch 2, the specs, these are things we want to know. And that weird, strange trailer for Emio. Yeah, we have an update for that as well. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So if you're just asking me, and for the sake of this video, let's just pretend you are. Hey, Mr. Robot Joe, what are you looking for in the Switch 2? I don't think I'm actually looking for much. I know that might sound a little selfish or whatever, but I'm not really wanting it to be too much different from the Switch. I like the Switch the way it is. If it could just play more powerful games or better looking games, then that's all I really want. You know, maybe a little bit more third-party support, but I like the Switch the way it is. And in my opinion, the Switch OLED is technically the Switch Pro. We had a lot of conversation a couple years ago, maybe 2022, about the Switch Pro. What is the Switch Pro? When is the Switch Pro coming? And then they revealed the Switch OLED, and a lot of people are disappointed, at least initially, right? If you go from the Switch to the Switch OLED, it is a huge difference. And the Switch OLED looks absolutely beautiful. A tiny bit bigger screen, you know, not much bigger, but it's enough to see a difference. So when looking at the Switch 2, the only things I could realistically say that I want is a little bit bigger screen. But to be honest, I think the screen is fine the way it is. But sure, we'll say a bigger screen. Maybe Joy-Cons that are a little less flimsy. Like the Joy-Con quality, I guess, is fine, but when they're on the Switch, you can like move them around a little bit. So maybe Joy-Cons that are a little bit better and just better games. Like, I really don't know what we could do to improve this console that much, but some specs have leaked out, and yeah, they're pretty great in my opinion. Nintendo has never strived to compete with the likes of Xbox or PlayStation in terms of power, though I think we can all agree the next console needs to be quite a substantial step up from the Nintendo Switch for it to be worth it. Fortunately, it sounds like the next console will be exactly that, and it's even being compared to Valve's Steam Deck as well. YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead recently made a video talking about the Nintendo console, saying they've heard rumors of it being slightly less powerful than Valve's handheld device. So, initial thoughts, I guess that's fine, but you know, that means when the Switch 2 comes out, it would already be like inferior to something that came out years ago. So I get it, like I guess they're saying, oh my god, it's almost as good as a Steam Deck. I would like it to be at least as good as a Steam Deck, but let's continue. It's said to have a lower frame rate but a higher resolution, and will apparently run better when docked. The Nintendo Switch has a barely noticeable difference being then docked in handheld mode, so it seems the next console will be better suited for those who like playing on TV or monitor display. I've had my Switch, this is like my third Switch now. I had the Switch, then V2, then now the OLED. I got my initial Switch in 2018. Let's do a little trip down memory lane. I have used my Switch docked maybe 10 times, maybe. And half of those was playing like Nintendo Switch Sports with family, so but this is good for other people. But I like the Switch. I like it being handheld. That's what sold me on it. Other leaked info about the Nintendo Switch 2 suggests it's not only being backwards compatible with Nintendo Switch titles, but also improves them in similar ways to the Xbox Series XS and PS5, improving Xbox One and PS4 games. That's amazing. That is something I was like hoping they would do. For example, I bought Cyberpunk for the PS4, but I put it in my PS5, and as soon as I put it in my PS5, they offered me a free PS5 upgrade, so I'm playing the PS5 version, even though I bought the PS4 disc. And that was something I was hoping we would see with the Switch moving to the Switch 2. Obviously that won't be for all the games, but first party stuff. That's amazing. Whether all of this is true or not remains to be seen, though they do sound like no-brainer features that the next-gen console needs to have to be better than its predecessor. So as long as we just get this, and then maybe a 1-inch bigger screen and better Joy-Cons, I'm all sold on this console. You know, it has to have at least enough updated features for it to be feeling like a big improvement. You know what I mean? You have to have enough there so you can say, oh, I understand the point. If they just do the bare minimum, what's the point of upgrading? So as long as this happens, I am very excited. In the comments below, let me know what you're looking for this next Nintendo console. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo just put out a 15-second trailer for a very strange and unsettling game. You know, we're assuming it's a game, but they didn't give us any more information. And the internet was like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Well, I have a huge update. I think the game is just called Emio. Emio rating in Australia has been shown. Nintendo of Australia has finally released a trailer, and the rating suggests strong theme of violence, domestic abuse, and themes of suicide. And that's absolutely freaking insane. This is Nintendo, the most family-friendly company in the world. The spookiest game that they have is like what? Stuff like Hollow Knight on the console, Inside, Luigi's Mansion. These aren't even really spooky, but I'm just trying to think of like games that fit that narrative. This seems like something like Hideo Kojima would make. I'm very curious how this all plays out. And this person is mirroring my thoughts exactly. They're saying like, oh, when is this coming out? It's either an August or October reveal, since Nintendo marketing is usually 3 or 4 months like away from the release. At least that's what we've been seeing lately. What's this month? August, September, October. So it is July. They just showed off that trailer. 3 months from now would be October. This would be a great October release. And just something else super late in the Switch's life. It's actually very impressive how much they're doing this late in a console's life. It truly is insane. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this? What are you looking for in that next Nintendo console? And Emio, what are your thoughts on all this? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you could. But you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.